Hello, everyone. This is Juliet Gladies Jayasuria. Welcome to Evaluate to Motivate segment. In this segment, we will be talking to champion evaluators to learn from them the art of evaluation. Today, we have with us Toastmaster Vijaylata Valluri, who is a great evaluator and table topics champion. She had participated in various table topics levels at club and division level, and some of the evaluation contests in club level as well as in the division level too. So welcome, Vijaylata, for this session to Evaluate to Motivate.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Juliet. Thank you for the welcome.
Okay, so let's start with the questions. So the first question to you, Vijaylata, is tell us about your journey as an evaluator. When and how did you discover that evaluation is your strength?
I started evaluating at the club level, at the Aurora Toastmasters Club. And the first thing I realized is being an evaluator is easy, but delivering a speech is difficult.
Yeah.
Because when I'm evaluating, I only have to look for, most of the time we look for flaws, forgetting the fact that the speaker has put in so much of an effort to deliver that speech and gather that courage and strength to stand there and deliver that speech. So that's the first thing I learned as an evaluator is, let's try to encourage the speaker.
Yeah.
Let me not look for areas which need improvement. First, let me look at the areas where the speaker has done very well.
Right.
Particularly if it's an icebreaker speech, then I prefer to be a little more soft, because that is when the speaker will get the strength and the courage to deliver the next speech. Now you ask me when and how did I discover that evaluation is my strength? Even today, I feel evaluation is a weakness for me. And if that weakness is a strength, then maybe. Because whenever I try to evaluate a speech, I put myself into the speaker's shoes and start thinking, what would that speaker feel if I get a little too harsh? So I adopt something called, I don't know whether it's a Toastmasters terminology, but I adopt something called a potter's approach. You know, when a potter is making a pot, while he's hitting the pot to give it a shape, he's also holding the pot from inside so that the pot doesn't break.
That's right.
That is the approach I prefer to adopt, so that while I want to give a feedback where the speaker should improve, at the same time, I don't want the speaker to break down and stop giving or delivering speeches.
I think that's what the strategies I think you're adopting, the second one, which I wanted to ask. Yeah, so the Potter's approach. So how do you actually do that strategy to open the speech? Is it going to be for opening an evaluation speech, Toastmaster Vijaylata?
What I do is, I first and foremost try to understand which level the speaker is giving.
Okay.
If the speaker is giving an icebreaker speech, I go very soft. But if that speaker has gone up to level 5, level 6 and giving a high performance leadership project, then we expect a certain level of proficiency. We expect a certain level of clarity. So I start, and most of the times I feel the best approach would be when I tell about my own experience there as a speaker. And first I say, I apply this to myself as well. Try to bring in a little humor in the beginning. And even when I'm giving the recommendations, what I prefer to do is tell them, see, this is not wrong, but this is much more appropriate. And if we are here to conquer our fear and also improve our speaking abilities, what is important is not just to be right, but also to be appropriate.
That's right. So it's very important. It's very important to start with the humor and then trying to make them comfortable. So how do you give 360-degree evaluation? Are there any techniques that one can adopt to give well-rounded evaluation?
See, first thing is, I feel that we should listen to the speech intently, carefully. And most of the times, we should avoid evaluating the speaker. We should evaluate the speech. Because the speaker has put in a lot of effort. Now, how do we give a 360-degree evaluation? We start with the introduction, how the speaker has given. Has the speaker met the purpose of the project for which the speaker is giving the speech. What are the good things that were there in the speech? Something that we could have learned from that speech? And what are the areas of improvement? And then conclude by saying that if we take all these things into consideration, like for example, if the person who is standing in front of me is a very good speaker who has got a very good vocabulary, then I take care of even minor grammar corrections.
Yeah.
But if the speaker standing in front of me is someone whom I know is just trying to learn the ropes of public speaking, then certain grammar things we would ignore, at least I would ignore.
Yeah.
But
as a part of encouragement.
Yes. Because I also attended one session where the speaker told me that, not that speaker, but some other speaker, when he was delivering a speech, he said, he learned that what is important is not to show my vocabulary, but to encourage the speaker to improve upon his or her vocabulary.
Yeah.
So only then I think when we give that kind of a well-rounded evaluation, the speaker gets motivated.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I really love the way you said you have to evaluate the speech, not the speaker, and we have to really encourage the person. Well said. So how can we effectively manage time to organize this evaluation speech?
There are two things. First is, even if I know that the speaker is going to deliver a speech, I am not going to come prepared with certain quotes, because that would mean I am already prepared with my evaluation. But while the speaker is delivering the speech, I will make note of a few points, and I know this is the time I have got. Within that time, we have to give the feedback to the speaker. So when I look at the lights that are being shown, whether it's the green or the amber or the red, by the time we come to amber, I try to conclude so that when we finish red, when we are finishing red, I'm done with my speech.
That's right.
Because
so
otherwise,
when you come to yellow, the yellow color,
yes,
we start
yes,
the conclusion immediately.
Yes, yes.
That's a good idea to even think for all the new Toastmasters. So is it important to conclude? What methods do you prescribe for conclusion?
Yes, it is important to conclude, because you cannot leave any speech without a conclusion. Like every speech that has an introduction, a body, and a conclusion, even evaluation is like an impromptu speech which needs to be concluded. And personally, conclusion should be on a positive note.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because Toastmasters is all about encouraging speakers to come out of that fear and go stand there and give a speech.
That's right.
While, of course, holding their hand and also telling them that these are the areas you can do better. But personally, I feel conclusion should always be on a positive note, so that the speaker goes back a little confident. And more importantly, the tone. Don't throw the words. Let the tone be a little more softer, so that even if you're selling something harsh, the impact is a little less harsh.
Exactly. That's a very good idea. So telling the words in a softer tone so that the stress, pause, and tone will be really giving a more impact.
Absolutely.
So having said that, how should a Toastmaster prepare for an evaluation contest?
See, in my experience so far, and having seen quite a few Toastmasters preparing for evaluation, that's what I told you in my previous question also. Please do not come with some preset notions or prepared quotes. Particularly in a contest, the judges would have gone through all this. So once you start with a particular quote, we can make out that, okay, this is the quote that the person had come prepared with. Whatever is the speech, irrespective of the speech, this is the quote the person is going to give. Let's not do that. Okay. Let's go with an open mind. That day is that speaker's. Sometimes the speaker could be good on that day. Sometimes the speaker would have had certain problems. Prepare, listen to evaluation speeches, prepare yourself, but don't go with preconceived notions. This is what I always tell even our club members when we sit to practice for evaluation contest. This is a request that I always do. Don't go with certain preconceived notions that this is what I'm going to say and this is how I'm going to conclude, because you do not know the speech.
That's right.
Listen to the speech with an open mind. That's the first thing I would suggest.
Okay, that's really good. So as a champion evaluator, what is your advice to the new Toastmasters to prepare themselves for the evaluation contest?
I would say that it's always better to listen to experienced Toastmasters, experienced evaluators, take notes. Don't necessarily repeat those notes when you're giving your evaluation, but let them be like a guideline for you. There are such senior Toastmasters who do such fantastic evaluations. Listen to them, particularly, and start competing in contests. Start from the area level, club level. Because at the club level, it is your club. Nobody is going to judge you.
Exactly.
Start competing and listen. Listen to good evaluators. Use their tricks and tips as guidelines, but don't repeat what they have said, because the speech that we are going to listen is not going to be the same that they have evaluated.
Yes.
So the best thing is practice, write, try to avoid harsh tone and harsh language. This is
That's
the only
right.
thing that I always advise everyone. Let us avoid harsh tone and harsh language. Put ourselves in those shoes. Are we going to be happy listening to harsh tone and harsh voice or harsh language? There is a way to tell everything. So practice, practice, practice.
Yeah.
Practice by listening to good speakers and also improving upon our language. And participating, I feel, even in table topics, because table topics and evaluation is very similar, simply because both are impromptu.
Exactly.
So the more they practice, the more they listen, and the more they improve upon their vocabulary, there's no reason why they cannot do well. Every Toastmaster can do well. And the first thing is, the fear is always here. Once we remove the fear, we can do anything. Now, all speakers, when they started, like I was in the profession of teaching, so people presume that it would be a cakewalk for me to talk. It's not like that.
Each one is
Teaching,
different.
yeah, each is different. So when I came here, the first 2 times I did have that stage fear, but
Yes,
then I said, no, we need to conquer that.
of course. Yeah, that was a wonderful piece of advice, Vijaylata. Thank you so much for your valuable time and knowledge that you shared with us today. And hope this will help all the budding evaluators in their Toastmasters journey. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was my pleasure, and all the best to you and all the budding evaluators.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you
Thank you.
so much. And this is Juliet signing off. Thank you.